Good morning. It's morning my time anyways. I think it's March 29th. Let me see. Yep. Tuesday, March 29th. 6 o'clock in the morning. Uh, I know you guys, it's been a little bit since I've done some therapy or recorded it. So, um, I know I keep telling myself over and over each time that I get on here to do therapy that the reality of how hard it is to stay on top of it, to the easiness of just to not talk about it or to not get it out. Because don't get me wrong, like the thoughts are there. So like I'm gonna like just let this naturally flow. The last post that or the last therapy session that I shared was about my open heart surgery. I came upon my 3 year mark. Um, and so that was pretty traumatizing. Um, I will say that I believe I have PTSD, um, and I battle with some depression and anxiety um, from the stemming of my open heart surgery. Not to say that I don't have it with other situations, because everything I have been through, I do um, have those, I guess you could say symptoms or characteristics, because that's what energy is when you have that energy pent up inside yourself. So all that pain and trauma that I have pent up inside, it's what starts to, your body start to function. Um, it's a dis-ease, like disease, dis-ease. Um, so the disease is you like the anxiety, the depression, like everything that comes with it, the PTSD. So that's a part of it. So as I'm working through each of this is what I got to tell myself. Spit it out, Jen, get it out, work through it, because each time that I'm doing this, the perspective of life and the healing power and the vibration that I'm living on, I'm stoked. And so it's like, but where I'm battling with the two is like I'm stoked because I'm healing myself, but I'm also my worst enemy, and I'm allowing that anxiety and depression sometimes and others, I mean, just like the overall package of PTSD to kind of stay there. And it's like, I know, and I'm telling myself, Jen, you're not going to get better unless you get it out. Not just thinking about it. Like, you need to get it out. It's energy. Words are energy. This is what I've learned, you guys. So see how I get pumped up and excited, because it's like, just spit it out, just get it out. Not everyone wants to hear it, right? It's okay. That's what life is about. Like, quite honestly, I'm at this point in my life. People are so worried about what's happening, what's trending, what's watching the news or watching the award shows, stuff like that. People are so distracted. There's so many distractions in this world. It is unbelievable. The brainwashing is unbelievable. But now that I have my vision and my mind wrapped around where it needs to be wrapped around, I'm like, I'm telling y'all, I just got to stay on this path. And I got to, yeah. Sorry, see, I have to remind myself, girl, you got to do this, because it's been a long time. And I was just like, yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. And it's like, no, stay consistent. So I'm going to do better. I really am. And if any of you guys want to hold me accountable and shoot me a message or call me or, Jen, get to therapy, I would appreciate it. I would. I'm not asking you to, like, or, wait, I am asking you to, but I'm just saying, don't feel obligated. If you want to do it because you want me to continue on this path, whatever, I'm going to do it anyways. I love y'all. Um, so I just got back from spring break, and this is therapy session that's going to be happy, and there's going to be some, releasing. I don't know what's going to take place, but I went on spring break, and I went and saw who's somebody who's become a best friend of mine. She's been in my life now for, is it 3 years? And she came into my life just shortly before February. Um, she also had surgery before me, 3 days before me. So we bonded and met through a Facebook group, and we befriended each other, and we've kept in touch. We were each other's support. I don't think she realizes how much she was a huge support for me. You really were. So, also something with this visit that I noticed is that I don't feel like being with her. I mean, we live very far apart. I've seen her twice in the flesh, but I've talked to her through text, messenger. I think we've had a few phone conversations. Memory's not always there. She can agree with it. I think that's what's so awesome is that being with her, she knows. I don't need to really necessarily explain. I don't feel like I have to explain anything to her. It's just like, she just knows. She's been through it herself. And I don't dismiss anyone that, wants to sympathize for people, in individual surgeries. Like if you had a certain surgery and something, you know what I mean? And I haven't been, I can't necessarily say that I understand, because each individual handles things differently. But an open heart surgery, I'm not saying it's higher than any other. Like a surgery is a surgery. It's all little, but talking to somebody about my open heart surgery that hadn't had the surgery, and then talking to somebody that has had it, night and day. Like, that's just what I mean is like, unless you literally have been through it yourself, it's just that bond and that connection. And so that's what I noticed is like, I spent a week out there, and I enjoyed my entire stay. I was battling with a little bit of anxiety, just because I'm, playing in my own head. But like I said, the coolness of everything is that I don't know if she felt it or not, but I just felt like we understood each other in the sense of that. Yeah. Tell me if you feel the same, sis, because I I want so much to just share my life with the people that I love. And then I want so much for them to share their life with me, because that's how we heal, and that's how we love each other. And the cool thing is, like I just said, I probably already said it numerous times, is that I just don't feel that I have to do that. Like with her, like I just love her, and for who she is, and who she's been for me. And they always say the thing about when you love somebody, it's the reflection of you. And so I firmly believe the universe has had our paths cross for a very strong, amazing, whatever reason that it feels that we needed each other. I'm glad that it has happened, because I literally can now say that I have She's gonna be my best friend. I don't care, girlfriend. You're my best friend. I know she's watching, or she probably will at some point. So, anyways, I love you and thank you for being my heart sis and just a great friend. My visit with you was awesome. Something I wanted to bring up about how I kind of was talking about when we were on the porch. We were on the swing and we were talking. It was just me and you. And I don't know, we got onto something about cleaning, or it was about when I had made the comment about growing up, and I did like I would clean our bathroom, and my elbow grease and my OCD was just like very particular, very yeah, I'm very like, if some of you guys don't know, I run my own cleaning and organization business, and it's called Extreme Clean. Because that's my skill set, is I'm extreme to when it comes to something and cleaning it and bringing it back to brand new. And so we were talking about that. We got on the subject about organizing and cleaning and whatnot. And so when I had brought up the thing about growing up, that I was the one that cleaned, I was the one who did it all, that it was like, I don't know why, because my mom didn't teach me that. My dad didn't teach me that. I just did it. It was naturally within me to know how to, like, the cleanliness. And then something just like it was like, I would say aha moment, but it was like, I wonder if my cleaning addiction or OCD or whatever you want to call it has anything to do with the past from when I was young. Because the cleanliness, I don't know. I just, like, that was at the moment where it was like, why am I so anal about, like, why my attention to detail is ridiculous sometimes. And I wish that I didn't have it at times, because it it could be frustrating. But I question, though, that if from when, when my trauma started happening at the age of, what did we decide? It was age 6, was it? 6 or 7? It hasn't clicked yet to be like, oh yeah, I remember when, but that's when I'm like, okay, so, I mean, sorry, I'm not trying to throw my parents underneath the bus, but I mean, I'm not saying that they're dirty people at all, but they did not teach me my skill set in cleaning. No. So I just wonder if that's something that has a connection to it, because I've seen, like, stories and movies and whatnot of, somebody that's been through sexual abuse, or whatnot, that has had this very, like, cleaning, like, oh, I gotta wash, clean, organize, type thing. So I'm kind of wrapping that thought process, because I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, that's the reason why. I do have attention to detail, but in retrospect, or if that's even the word that I want to use, is that I am a Virgo, and a lot of Virgos do have attention to detail. So it's not just necessarily saying because of my past, this is why. There's multiple reasons that, create me and make me and who I am. But I just don't want to say that specifically is why, because I love to clean. I do. It's so weird. Okay, wait. It's not like I have to clean something today. It's not like that. I love the challenge of taking something and bringing it brand new, bringing it back to its original state. I also love the challenge of helping one's mental capacity or state in when they're struggling and they can't do that clean. They can't do that organization. Some people just don't have it, and that's okay. Like, that's what I like and I love, is because I have that, and let me help you. Let me, so when I think in that situation of enjoying helping others, I'm like, okay, so what am I helping myself for? How am I? Yeah, I love helping others and see them grow and heal and whatnot. But like, when I do all that I do, what's the purpose? Because like I said, there's a reason for everything. Like, daily we should be taking lessons. Going back to the distractions of the world, everything that you're distracted by, if you're not talking about your healing and you're not talking about what's going to be better for, like, what you got to do to be better for yourself. And I'm not talking like, okay, so yeah, you just got to be better for yourself. And when I say you, I'm talking to myself during this. Because of the distractions, yeah. I got squirreled, you guys, so give me a second. Oh yeah, going back to, I like doing and helping others, but what is it in for me? So that's kind of like, after that talk that we had, I just was like, I'm going to kind of like marinate with that thought for a little bit. And so it's been a couple of days. And nothing extreme has really come from it, but I will say that I started that cleaning, that style, at a very young age, like in the bathroom, anyways. Not every single, because I did have, which my mom would be like, "Oh, you used to be a pack rat." Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that I used to keep stuff because I was gonna make art out of it, or whatever. I was young. But I used to clean the bathroom all the time. And I was just OCD about it. But I kind of I feel that had, that's pretty much what started my addiction of cleanliness, which it only makes sense, right? Because what I have gone through, in my past, and what I've already shared, I mean, you would think, oh, wow, I'm sure she would feel dirty. Not that I feel dirty. You guys understand what I'm saying, because I am not what happened to me. Like, I know that, and I'm working through that. I deserve to understand and take these lessons, that everything that I'm healing from. Hi, baby. My kitty cat and my doggy right here. They come to say hi. So anyways, yeah, that was kind of been on my mind. Another, might as well talk about it, because got to talk about it, get it out. Another thing that I kind of grasped this vacation was the seriousness that I need to get on and help my daughter, my youngest. She, I see how she craves the attention of a grown man, as in like a father figure. She is thinking cute. I love her to death. So she was talking to my heart sister's husband, who is she just bonded to him. And honestly, like, quite frankly, it was kind of funny because even my heart sister was like, "Are you sure you didn't make a trip down here?" Is stating that he could possibly be her father. Like, their bond is just so cool. And I love it because he's able, like, when we were there, he was able to meet, like, he saw that and he understood it, and he, like, that connection just happened. But it also made me realize that as her mother, her only parent, I need to help her work through, like, I don't want this childhood trauma of her not having a father, a daddy in her life to carry on when she's 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, how can I start this process of talking with her about the lack of a father and a daddy, not and daddy, father slash daddy. You know, okay, we call him a sperm donor. Well, I don't call him that to her, but if I'm speaking to anybody else, I say sperm donor. He's literally spent 7 hours of her entire life. And those 7 hours were on my behalf. Me going to him. Like, yeah. But that was many years ago. So anyways, I just need to figure out, and I'm already started the process of how I can approach her and have her start talking about this, in which we have started talking about it in the sense of, so she can be healing, like, during this time, and instead of stuffing that pain. But so she had shared with my friend, they're both my friends, so she shared with him that something was brought up along the lines of mom and her guy friends. And I guess when he was explaining the story, it would just kind of took me back to another conversation that I had with my oldest daughter, who her and I were talking, and there was a conversation we had. It was something brought up, and she said, you know, all your guy friends. I took that. It hit me in a different way that it may have been portrayed, or, you know what I mean? Like, it was my perception, and my perception is obviously what I need to deal with. And so, when I heard it, it was just like, man, I sound like a floozy. Like, all these guys, like, I bring all these guys around and all these guys. And it was just like, yeah, I do have guy friends. And I realized that I don't have a lot of girlfriends. I've never been one to have a huge group of girlfriends. I've had a few friends. I'm back in high school. I had a group of close friends, and, you know, we've just kind of, I don't want to say fallen off. Like, it's just, we're not, that connection is not as strong anymore. Love them dearly, always will. But yeah, it's just not a friendship that I would consider to be one of my best friendships. And, so guys, I mean, it is natural instinct to, you know, be attracted to the opposite sex and want to spend time and grow, you know, to find that friendship. And I do personally get along easier and better with guys. Seems to be. And so when those two conversations, from the one of my friend and then one from my oldest daughter, those two conversations, how I was able to kind of combine the two, and I was just like, wow. Like, I've had a lot of sexual abuse and a lot of trauma outside of that, and pain. And I'm like, how, it's funny because I mean, not you would think, but one going through what I went through, you would think that I would, you know, like, stay away, I don't like men type thing. But it's not even like that. Like, I don't know. I guess I I grew up with my brother and his friends. And I mean, I had a few girlfriends, but anyways, it just, when I heard them two say that, something about all your guys, it was kind of like reality smack. And it was like, okay, look, Jen, within yourself, was that, like, are you really friends with them, or are you just really searching and looking? You know what I mean? Like, I'm still grasping it, to be quite honest with you, because, like, I do have people that kind of come in my life and they're active, and then they'll disappear, and then they'll come back, and they'll just this on again, off again. And I'm not saying that I'm not like that either, because I am. But I also wonder, am I in the wrong? Am I doing wrong for just being me and accepting the people like that, you know what I mean? Like, accepting them, the people that come in and out of my life. Like, they're not, like, extremely toxic. Like, I'm working on, I've gotten rid of that really one toxic one, and I'm going to continue working as this continues to unfold. So if there's more toxicity that, like, kind of goes, yeah, hi, then I will face it and address it. But that's what I'm working on, is releasing that toxicity. Wow. So I have my book down here, and I'm not even going to hold it fast, but I just took a quick glance down on those keywords. Yeah. That's just every time I take a quick glance at that, like, because I did some keywords of just, like, basic, like, huge events. I guess you get trauma, pain, to where I can glance at it and it kind of just, it'll take me to that moment, and I could be like, oh yeah, I remember this, or I remember that. Speaking of memory, I know, are we going like this on this visit, this therapy? Memory is a shot. But I'm working and doing so much better. Because of my open heart surgery, I have not been diagnosed by a doctor, but I don't need to be diagnosed by a doctor to tell you that I have Pumphead. I have Pumphead. My memory, what I'm realizing throughout all this healing process and journey, I realized that my memory, it's like some things are starting to open up. Like, oh my God, I remember. Like, how did I forget that? Like, what? Or someone's talking to me and they're asked, do you remember when? Or when we did this? And I'm like, nope. Don't. When was this? How old were we? Or, what were we wearing? Or you know what I mean? Like, some people have the memory and just, like, can know details. Not so much with me. Not all that. My memory's been a little whack, and as I'm continuing to heal, I'm having more memories pop up, and it's exciting. I chit chat with, a lot of people, but the people that are like physically in my life, talking with them. Okay. So my heart sister and I, like, talking with her, this was kind of funny because I'd literally, and I know some of you guys may have already experienced this, but I'll be talking and I'm like, what were we just talking about? You know what was cute? I did that on vacation on spring break, and she didn't know either. So she turned to her husband. She goes, what were we just talking about? I was like, yes. I love it. Like, I'm not the only one that my memory is so, like, comes and goes. But throughout this healing process, some stuff is popping up and I'm like, oh yeah. And it's like, I really should just carry a journal with me. But then again, I'm like, what if I lose it? And then I don't care. I mean, I don't care, obviously, because look, I made a public platform. Like, it is literally public. This is not private. So anybody's going to see it, and it is what it is. So it's not that I'm worried about what people know about me, because at this point, I'm just like, yeah. So maybe I should carry a journal, and when I have those moments, I could just grab it and write it down. I mean, I've been doing good about keeping it here, like when that moment is happening, like when it's wrapping around the thought process. It's like, okay, register. So yeah, my memory, as I continue to work through each and every single trauma, I hope is going to open up even more and more. Let's see. So going back to my youngest, we watched a movie the other day, and it had a relations of kind of, God, what was the movie called? The Party After Life. Something along those lines. I mean, if anyone's really interested, you can message me, I'll let you know. But it's basically about this movie where this girl dies. She has a freak accident. And she's, okay, before she dies, she's just like this flamboyant, like, party girl, the center of the attention type, like, at the party. Anyway, she had a freak accident. She died. And before she can cross over, her fairy godmother basically took her through the list. You guys know, like, the Scrooge list, you know what I mean? I don't know if you guys remember, and is it this, like, there's a Christmas Story too, you know what I mean? And so, anyways, this fairy godmother takes her through this list, and this list is her dad, which was kind of, like, the first eye-opener for me. It was like, okay, whoa, something's connecting here, you know? Like, because I believe that the stuff that is put in your forefront, the people that are in your life, it's there for a reason, right? There's a connection to it, or a lesson or something. So the first person was on her list was her dad. And the second person was her best friend, Lisa. And then her third person was her mom. And then she added a person. And her story basically is that her dad, she just needed to help heal him because he was in a deep, dark depression after her death. Anyways, that was kind of like, it wasn't like a story like mine. It was just the connection in the sense of being like, well, that's my dad. You know, there were things that were left unsaid, left undone type thing. I, you know, was kind of resonating with it because it was like, I'm feeling good because I feel like I'm on that right path of learning to let go and understand it, let go of those expectations of my dad, my father. So that connected with me. But then I also, because I was watching it with her, it was my youngest, I also was like, I was communicating with her in the sense that I wanted her to be able to just, I guess you could say, plant the seed. So then when they spoke about the best friend, I was just like, okay, I already know that I'm going to have to approach that. Like, I'm not really hung up on my best friend of 20 years walking out of my life. I'm not, how do we say it? I'm not in pain right now because I have so much else going on that when that timing's right, I will be dealing. I know that. Like, I'll start going through that as well, because 20 years and then someone to walk out. You just don't, it's just not that easy just to, like, it's no big deal. Like, yes, I love her. Do I miss her? I don't miss the person she became. I miss the person she used to be. But I love her, and I send her all the wishes and the warm healing and whatnot. But I'll deal with it when that time's right. And right now it's just not right. So it's okay. I'm dealing with what needs to be dealt with. And then the third person was her mom. And so her mom had left her when she was very young and ended up having another daughter. And so she was able to see them, like, you know what I mean? Like, watch them. And she was just like, oh, that's Sophia. Like, that was what she was calling her mom. She wasn't calling her a mom. She was calling her Sophia by the first name. And so then the guardian angel says, like, well, it looks like you do have some unfinished business. And so then that's when I was like, made me think about my youngest and everything that I did the first couple of years to keep her active with her half-sisters and brothers. Well, brothers and one sister. Well, I wasn't a sister at that time. But anyways, she has a lot of siblings on the other side. And at first, I did everything in my power to go see the boys, to take her, to interact and whatnot. And when the sperm donor chose not to be in her life, the day of court, he wrote an email basically stating that he didn't have the ability to provide for her the way that he should, and that he hopes that I find somebody to adopt her and give her the money that she deserves, or the life that she deserves. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. The money that she deserves. No. We're not doing this. No. Luca got a bone, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and listen to him chew a bone. No. Go. Yeah. It's annoying. So, okay, going back to so the day of court, he sent an email stating that he didn't have the desire or the ability to jump through the hoops that I made him go through. Whatever. Whatever, dude. Whatever. I have everything that needs to be shared when she's ready. I have the black and white. I have the proof of where I did my footwork and went and saw the boys that, tried to make that connection, tried to do what I felt that was right. And then as they were getting older, I realized I had spoke with one of the moms, and I was just like, okay, so just so you guys understand, there's 4 baby mamas from the sperm donor total. 6 kids, 4 mamas. I'm baby mama number 3. Whatever. So I was speaking to the first mom, and I was asking her, like, how would you handle the situation, being that, because they are all a part of his life. They go every other week or however. And then I know it's always been on again, off again for the third one. It's just whatever. It's not my business to necessarily share, but the reality is this sperm donor hasn't been keen to every single child that he has had. So I necessarily was just wanting to know, how would she handle the situation? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, if I continue forcing this, like if I continue to go out of my way and come visit you guys and see the boys, and like, I love them, I miss them. But at that time, it was best that I stopped, because it was like, how is she going to do when she's like, wait a minute, their dad's my dad, but he sees them, but not me? I didn't want that to happen. And so I was just like, at some point in time when they get older, they're going to be speaking about it. And not that I don't want her knowing or whatnot, because this is the stuff that I need her to work through and talk through. So anyways, I'm just like, watching that movie kind of was a good time to, mention it. And so I was just like, did you know you had some half brothers and a sister? And she was like, I do? I was like, yeah. I said, you have a couple of them. And I said, you remember so and so and so and so? And she was like, I remember their names, but I don't, like, it didn't grasp. Like, she didn't understand that they're her half brothers. So, anyways, it gave me the opportunity to kind of plant the seed, because I'm going to do what needs to be done. She needs to talk about it. We need to talk about it. It's something that is a part of healing that we haven't done throughout. I mean, humans, we're not taught to like sit down and communicate. We're literally taught to just like live life and go through life and just suck it up and push it underneath the rug type thing. And that's why as adults we become so fucked up. Excuse my language, but it's true. So that's my goal, is I want to talk with her and go through. And I understand she's not like necessarily traumatized or in pain, but it's like, that's the thing. If we don't address it now and we don't start working through it, then it becomes that, and I don't care what anyone says. It's like, oh, well, if he's out of sight, it's not that big of a deal. No, it is. When you're lacking something that society has taught you, that you're supposed to have a mom and a dad, like when society has brainwashed you into believing this is how you should live your life, then that's where the trauma and the pain will start, because it's like society has brainwashed it or embedded. This is how you should be. This is how it has to be. No, what one would think, yeah, that's pain and trauma. That is pain and trauma. When you grow up and you don't have a father, but yet he's taking care of some of his kids. It's sad. And my goal is to help her to go through that. It is no secret that my oldest, she has some trauma and pain with her father. It's not my proudest thing to say, is that, I mean, it's not proud at all. Like, it's both my girls have daddy issues, so to speak, because their mommy had daddy issues. And when I say daddy issues, y'all know it's not in the bad sense. It's just because I was abandoned. And, he did not mean to abandon me. It was, he hasn't healed through his hurt and his trauma as well. So, I'm not mad, but because of, that's what I'm saying, that's what creates each decision. And it's not like I purposely went out and be like, okay, with my ex-husband, it's like I purposely picked him to have him, not that he destroyed me, or to purposely create that trauma and pain within myself. Okay, so I'm not pointing any fingers into anyone particular. I'm taking my ownership. But I'm just saying, because where I lacked that, no, go. I'm trying to bring a bone and chew. Like, no, I don't want to listen to you chewing a bone right now. So, wow. There's just so much that kind of landed into my thought process. So I'm glad I jumped on today. There's still more, but I'm going to stop because I looked at the time. And I know that when I do my clips or whatnot, I have to keep it within a certain amount of time. And then I have to clear up space on my phone or it doesn't work. So I know this may have just happened, just a quick abrupt, ending because of Luca squirreled my train thought process. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to it, and I'm gonna set an alarm on my phone. I need to pick a day. I think a weekday or in the morning would be great, because that's when I tend to have a little bit more privacy. Um, and not that I need the, like I said, the privacy is not, I mean, it's publicly posted here, but just to be able to feel comfortable in talking home, without the girls in and out or whatnot. So I will continue to do better for myself, because I deserve it and I'm worth it. And I hope you all are doing fantabulous, and I hope you are on a path of a healing journey. If you guys are interested in healing yourself, I'm telling you, all you got to do is just start talking. Start talking some of that pain that you've gone through. Talk about your childhood. Talk about, big events that has happened, whether it be happy or sad. Because, believe it or not, some big events of happiness can be traumatizing as well. Not in traumatizing, like I said, perspective, you guys. I'm here if you guys would like to chit chat about yourself, or something that you are similar, if there's similarities, or, if I can help you start your healing process and you don't want to go to an actual person in therapy or whatnot. Hey, I'm telling you, this is helping me. And I mean, hey, some people are like, you're putting a little too much out there. I don't care. I don't care what you think at this point, because what matters is what I think. What matters is how I live my life and what I do with my life, to myself, not to you. So anyways, all right. Love and light to each and every single one of you, and especially to myself, because I deserve it and I am worth it.